Check 1, 2.
Check.
You want to hear something crazy?
Hello! We're back with another episode of Art of the Jam. This is episode number 120.
That's a lot of episodes.
You got to do it for it. You should do a monster truck rally. The monster truck rally.
Monday.
I'm going to get off the mic. Actually, there was one time I answered a call for a voice acting audition, and it was for stuff like that. It was like commercials where it was like, actually, it was kind of funny because it wasn't even for that, but my instinct at the time was to read everything in that manner. It was like for a bank, and it's like, do you want to open a CD? Do you want a savings account, a checking account?
Dude, that'd be like the best job ever.
Come in Monday, and open your checking account now. It was like,
You can kind of still hear it.
yeah, and the gain is all the way down. But guys, this is yet another episode of Art of the Jam. This is, like I said a second ago, this is episode number 120, and I'm feeling
Good about the future.
I'm gonna point that away.
That's beautiful.
But actually, no. As why I say that is because we have we've. What am I trying to say here? I'm all jibble jabble word salad, whatever the fuck you call that shit. We have been kind of not on hiatus or anything, but we've kind of taken a break over the holidays and kind of just settled down. And but at the end of the month, we are kind of hitting it heavy again. So we're back at it. So I just wanted to go ahead and read these dates because we are on tour in March, and yeah, I'll give it a rest on the microphone here after a minute. I'll get tired of it like I did on the last episode. But we're in St. Joseph in January on the 31st. We're at Good Times Event Center. We last year we did the Battle of the Bands, and we won our category. And I don't have the thing anymore. It doesn't matter. But they asked us, since we were the winners of our category last year, they asked us to be the featured band. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember us talking about the Dirty Pretty. They were, it was the first annual last year, so they didn't win the year before, but they were the featured band while they tally the votes and stuff. And Dirty Pretty is dope, but we're pretty much taking their spot this year and being the featured band. And so January 31st, Good Times Event Center. I believe the whole thing starts at 6 p.m., so be there. We do have a couple shows in February now that I just realized. We're in Fayetteville, Arkansas on the 15th of February at Nomads. And we're in KCMO on the 22nd of February at Skate Bar. And then as far as March goes, we hit tour. So our dates here, I'm going to read them off. I didn't put the specific venues yet because I was in a hurry. So I will disclose the venues on the next episode. So bear with me here.
Sorry.
But we are March 5th, we are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. March 6th, we are in Pittsburgh, Kansas. March 7th, we are in Houston, Texas. Back to old Houston. We get to deal with the fucking squirrely old ants on the highway and all that bullshit and inconsideracy. But I'm just kidding. I think I don't want you guys to think I have it out for Texas, but I think I might have it out for Texas. But no, March 8th, we are in New Iberia, Louisiana. March 10th, we are in Mobile, Alabama. March 11th, we are in St. Petersburg, Florida. We are in Jacksonville on the 12th. We are in Warner Robin, Georgia on the 13th. And Huntsville, Alabama on the 14th. There is more to be announced, maybe. We haven't decided that yet, but we're going to be hopping on a call with our dude after this recording of this episode, and we'll probably talk it out. But yeah, so that's where we will be.
The 15th of February and 22nd, right?
Yep. We'll talk about that later. So, guys, this is, like I said, again and again and again, this is yet another episode of Art of the Jam. And in the tradition of Art of the Jam, I do have a question for you guys, our audience. And today, our question is I was really, it took me a minute because I fancy myself a very curious person, but when I start to churn my little doohickeys in my skull here, I realize how like barely curious I am about things, and but I was thinking about I mentioned this to somebody the other day about like pointless bodily functions. And it kind of spawned this question for me. So our question for you today, audience, is what is a necessary basic bodily function that if you could live without doing, you would? And let me specify, there is no excrement exclusivity on this. So meaning it's not just shit and piss and comes. I'll have to bleep that out, but it's not just peas and sperms, guys. It's not just peas and sperms. So, that's basically what I'm saying. Okay, it can be anything. It can be walking, running, exercise. It could be it could be whatever you want it to be, as long as it's a basic bodily function that we need in order to live on this earth. Well, I guess. I mean, I guess you could. There's some things you could just not do, but you die. So if you don't want to die. Anyways, guys, this is a very long intro, and there's more editing to do. Okay, just all right. I'm just gonna do one long continuous bleep. God, you're gonna see me fucking lose my shit. I'm gonna freak out.
Start throwing stuff, and it's just a beep.
Yeah, that's what it's about to be. They're about to see me finally have my meltdown that's been brewing in me for many years now. But guys, I will repeat. What is a necessary basic bodily function that if you could live without, you would? That being said, cue the intro. I forgot that actually, whenever I had the idea for this mic, that's exactly what I had this for. That was the idea, so I could say cue the intro, and like we'll be back for after a short break or something. You know what I mean? But guys, we're back from the intro. If you didn't know. Space Camp, what do you think a necessary basic bodily function that if you could live without, you would?
Fucking my nose running.
That's a decent one. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because fuck that.
All right, so that was
And
too
like congestion and stuff.
So
anything that deals with that.
So just like allergies.
Yeah.
Is that I guess that is a function.
And it also, like, you do, like, produce fluid and whatnot, sort of, I guess. I don't know, mucus, is it, like, fluid, or is it a...
I mean, like, yeah, it's a fluid, I guess. It's a byproduct. I think your body excretes it. I don't know. actually. Is there any doctors that want to come on the show? Because I am definitely not one. But, yeah, I mean, I assume that it's kind of the same as, like, piss and shit. It's like, but it's caused by something else. You're not like, obviously we eat food and then it makes doo-doo in our bodies, in our tum-tums, and then it's like, it's all the shit that you're... You ever want somebody to do you so much you can do anything? No. No, but it's all the stuff that your food can't... That your body's like, I don't want that shit. And so they're like, let's kick it out the back door because we don't want it. But I'm a backdoor man. That was just about shitting, actually. No, I'm just kidding. What if that was? He was just taking a dump and he was like, oh my God, somebody get me a pen. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, man. Or he would... Never mind. I was going to say... Never mind. I was going to say alternative coitus methods, but, that's always a thing, backdoor method. So your nose running, that's actually something I haven't thought of. You know why I didn't think of that, though, is because rarely do I ever have a runny nose. I just realized that. Like, I haven't had a runny nose in, like, many, many moons, I feel like. Recently, I was sick for, like, the first time in, like, 6 months, maybe. I get sick, like, maybe once or twice a year. And that's a thing that I think is also a big fucking... there's so many things out there that, like, people go through. And I don't mean, like, fucking, traumatic shit. But there's stuff that happens to people that I'm like, that isn't real. Because I've never experienced it myself. Like, people are like, man, my allergies are bothering me this time of year, or my allergies are acting up, and I'm like, what is that? What is a fucking allergy? Like, I mean, latex. But I mean, like, allergies in the air. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's allergy season, and it's like they decided there was a season for that.
Usually when the seasons change, usually, or like back and forth weather.
I guess I could say that I get, like, allergies all in one concentrated, just like shotgun blast to the face, because I'm like, I don't get allergies for like a certain period of time, or I don't get for a prolonged period of time. I just, when the seasons truly change, I get just super sick for like 4 days. Like, I'm like incapacitated, like on the couch watching fucking Steve Wallace fucking, what's he fucking do? Stealth camping on YouTube for 6 hours a day. Whoa. Maybe I should put this over here and I'll just grab it. That was crazy. That was cool.
That was awesome.
I dig it. No, see, mine's so basic. Mine's so simple. Like, because the reason I came up with the question is because I casually mentioned to somebody, I was like, if I didn't have to sleep, I would never go to sleep.
That's a good one.
But
that was my second one.
I think, I'm gonna be honest, sleeping, eating, and shitting are a waste of time. I would say. Now, see, there's this. I asked this question to Nichelle earlier because I was like, I always kind of like get a second. If I have a question ready in time, normally I will write a question immediately before this happens, and I kind of did. I always do it while I'm working out. I come up with the question, and but I ran it by her because she was, and I asked her what a basic bodily function. She's like, if I didn't ever have to shit, I wouldn't. And I'm like, well, yeah, I feel like nobody would. Like, shitting is a waste of time. But then you got to think there's pros and cons to everything. It's like, you ever bust a mean grumpy and you're just like, oh my God. You're like, I'm so empty. And it feels so good.
I've never in my life heard that before.
Dude, yeah. But you know what I mean, though? You take that one, it's just so good, and you're just like, oh man, I feel like I'm like 10 to 15 pounds lighter, and I can just leap a tall building and
I'm just glad I heard that. I guess back when I was in high school, dude, like going into the stalls and people just don't flush the toilet. And
Yeah.
then there would literally be honkers like that fucking wide in there. Like, dude, like, are you okay?
Yes, he is. He left it there because yes, he is. He wanted you. He wanted everyone to revel in how good he feels.
Oh my god.
Or her. Oh, I guess they don't have unisex bathrooms. I mean, I guess they do nowadays, but back then, so yeah, it could only be a man, I think. But no, there's sometimes, yeah, you go in there and you're like, holy shit, that guy.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I need that right now.
Yeah.
But no, but then I realized that this question is almost too easy. Because when I asked her, she was literally like, shitting. And I was like, okay, that was too quick. I don't know if I like how quickly this question is being answered. And then I ask you, and you're like, sniffles or whatever the fuck you said. I don't know whatever you said. Runny nose. And it was just too quick, so I thought of this, okay? And if you're still
Follow up.
yeah, well, actually, I'm taking it a step further, right? And so I hope you're still tuned into this episode because this question just got crazier. Yeah, it's not really that crazy, but I mean it is. But so, what is a necessary basic bodily function that if you could live without, you would? But another function you have to do twice as much. Shit? No. That's what you're going to be doing twice as much. You're going to be like, I'll not shit, but I have to clear my throat twice as much. No. When I asked Nichelle this, she was like, I would piss twice as much as if I didn't have to shit. I was like, well, because you got to think, too. It's like you
blinking.
You would just like blink twice as much. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So you no runny nose, but you have to just like blink.
Yeah.
Well, see now, how do you ever? I don't know if anybody actually keeps track of how much they blink. So how do you know what twice as much of your blinking would be? Because I feel like there's people out there that, like, if I blink once every, I mean, now I'm thinking about it, so I'm blinking a lot. So you blink every, like, 15 seconds. Beep. Still haven't fixed the fire alarm. Anyways, you blink every, like, 5 to 15 seconds. That's only 10 to 30 seconds. That's not a lot. You got to pick a different one.
I like how you said that. No. Yeah, pee. That's only because I don't want to sleep more. Who wants to fucking sleep more?
Yeah, I mean I guess you don't have to. This is the thing. I wish you could just sleep and eat for pleasure. Like, man, I'm bored.
Fucking vampire, dude.
Well, vampires, they have to sleep. Still, they just sleep during the day in a coffin. Dude, have you ever heard of, there's a podcast out there now. It's called Grave Conversations. It's a podcast. I don't know if you remember, his name's David Mauchin. I forgot how to pronounce his last name. But he's an actor. You probably know him. I don't know if you've seen that movie Late Night with the Devil, or he was like briefly in The Dark Knight as a schizophrenic goon of the Joker. But he has a podcast now, or a show on YouTube called Grave Conversations, and him and the guest are in caskets. So it's literally, imagine this setup, but we're laying in caskets. It's the same thing. There's a table in the middle. They're kind of cockeyed like this, and they're just
laying in it.
Yeah, and there's microphones that come down.
That's pretty fucking.
It's so interesting, because you don't really think about how do you say, like, you don't have to have an icebreaker. That's what I realized. Like they're already in coffins. It's like you're face to face with your demise. Like you are figuratively dead. So there's nothing to hide. Does that make sense? It's kind of a beautiful concept for a show. And not in a morbid way, but it is. It's like, and he asks questions about death, like questions. He calls it like quintabit or something like that. It's like questions you need to answer before you die. It's like the acronym of that.
It's actually a pretty cool concept.
Dude, yeah, it's great. They had like Kevin Smith was on there, fucking Jack Quaid from The Boys, Mark Duplass. And the one we watched, the first episode I watched was Matthew Lillard, because I love Matthew Lillard, Shaggy. But yeah, that was a fucking great fucking. It's just a great show. I don't like, that's probably the coolest concept for a podcast that I've ever seen, just because of that concept. Like you're already confronting your mortality the moment you sign up for the show.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's almost like you're dead and you're talking to a deity in the spirit realm. It's like, that's what it feels like to me. So it's like you can't hide anything.
I just pictured you just sitting, laying in a coffin, and then someone just comes up with a clipboard. So, like, how'd you get here?
Yeah. No, but it's funny because at the end
What's
of
your
every
name?
at the end of every episode, he like leaves them like alone. It's kind of funny. He's like, all right, well, that's the episode, and he just closes the coffin, and so they're just like, and they can't see each other because they're like facing up. And so he'll be like, what's going on? Like, they're always like, what the? And they'll like peek over and they're like, so you're just going to leave? And then just nothing happens. Like, it's kind of funny.
Dude.
But,
And he's in the coffin.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they're just in the
best
coffin.
part,
It's really cool.
Did he leave?
It's interesting. What got me on that thing? What, you said something about coffins? We were on vampires. That's what we're fucking talking about. Yeah. So a vampire sacrifices vitamin D and has to. Well, no, they don't do anything twice as much. But no, if I didn't sleep, I would like. Oh man, I feel like I would just like.
More activities during the day.
Yeah.
Even tour would be fucking nice. You didn't have to sleep. You just drive 14 hours nonstop.
Yeah, I guess that would be more. I guess that would be interesting. If I didn't sleep, honestly, no, I would just work. I would just work twice as much. Because that's why I don't like to sleep. Is I'm always like, I'll lay in bed and be like, I could be doing this or I could be doing that. Well, I have an idea for this. I could go fucking do whatever. I could go play on the toy piano. I could go play the guitar. I could build a fucking puppet or something. Like I could edit video. I could do. That's what I want to. That's what I would do. But I don't count that as a bodily function. Other than I guess you kind of have to work in order if you want to progress in life, but you don't necessarily have to work in order to live. But man, a bodily function. I would say,
I guess it would work because you have to make money to be able to keep your functions.
I mean,
going.
but that doesn't.
No.
Money doesn't keep you alive.
In a way, it kind of does.
No, because if I didn't have money, I would just go fucking kill a squirrel every day
That's
and
true.
eat the squirrel, and I mean, like we didn't. You got to think about cavemen and stuff like that. It's like we didn't have money. We traded rocks and pelts and shit, and that's kind of currency. But you can't eat money. You can't take it with you when you go. That fucking Double Dynamite song, if anybody knows any Groucho Marx or Frank Sinatra, you can't take it with you when you go. Anyways. Beep. But, no, if I didn't have to sleep, I think I would just work out more. I think I would just exercise. I would say eat more, but like I feel like I honestly, for my eating habits, I feel like I eat a lot of food for my body type. So I don't really want to eat twice as much. Because I feel like you don't reap the repercussions of the thing you don't do anymore. Like, I'll never get tired. But if I eat twice as much, I'll just get fucking fat. I wish I could eat. Oh, I wish I could eat anything I want. Shit. That's not even the part of the question. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I think that's a pretty lame answer, but I think it would not sleep and exercise more, or be more active, so my bones don't get all weak and muscles don't atrophy and shit. But then, well, no, oh shit. So if I exercise and I don't have to sleep, that insinuates that I don't have any recovery time either. Meaning I can work out as much as I want and I just get bigger and bigger and I never feel fatigue. Or, yeah, dude, that's what I'm doing with. I can just if I don't sleep, I can be as active as I want. I'll never get tired or fatigued at all, and that would be kind of dope. But yeah, that's my answer. What do you got? I'm just kidding. You already answered it. Mm-hmm. I forgot what my answer is. No, so we do have. I don't have an album of the week to actually show. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep. But you asked earlier, and the reason I didn't answer you when you asked what I was listening to is I found. Do you ever like you grow up and you're like, why? How do I word this question? It's just kind of like you go through your life and you're like, in certain things pop up, certain things pique your interest, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know what this means about myself as a person. And then as you get older, you start to realize, like, things start to make sense. I don't know if it's such a hard thing to describe. I always like, I'll find a new type of music and I'll be like, this thing that I was interested in 10 years ago that I had no idea why I liked it, for some reason in my head, it just like, it was the key that unlocked the answer to that question. And I'm like, oh, this makes sense. I realized that, like, it almost unlocks a piece of your personality. I don't know how to explain it, but I found this band, okay? And anybody out there, you've probably heard this band, maybe. They're a Paris-based band from 1969, but they're a band called Magma. And I will put the album cover up here instead of not having it physically. But they're a Paris-based band in 1970 and called Magma, and they're like a prog jazz rock type of thing, because I realized this is what I think it is. This is why I asked that question, is because I never really listened to like prog rock, but I'm starting to get into. I'm trying to find. Sometimes my inspiration, my little vial of magic juice runs dry, and I have to refill it with inspiration
That's
somehow.
where I sit, like prog, like prog metal and stuff most of the time.
Yeah, and I realized it's hard to explain. Like I always find it very like confining to exist in like a song, in a structured song nowadays. And this is what I mean is like I've always played songs and written songs, like 3 to 5 minutes long, and then obviously when we play them live, we let them breathe and do whatever the fuck they want to do. But I'm like, I start diving into more prog. Like I've listened to Gizzard and like Genesis even, and like all these like, and Soft Machine and King Crimson and stuff, like all these like pioneers of prog rock. I've heard all these my whole life. But I just started like, I'm gonna take a little a little deep dive in that, you know. It's kind of like the whole Primus thing. Like, I'd always heard Primus in my life, but I was just like, I'm gonna finally be like, I'm gonna buckle down and listen to every fucking song that Les Claypool's ever done, just because he's an interesting cat. But I started diving into prog rock and stuff like that, and I've always liked jazz, and prog rock is actually pretty much just came from all of these jazz dudes in like the 50s and 60s that started taking acid and shit, and so they're like, whoa, dude.
Look at his horse is prog metal and shit, like that style. I don't know what it is, because I know what you mean by that.
By what?
What you were explaining about how every little thing is just different, and like how you were explaining about how the structure of the songs are and whatnot.
Well, I mean, like, that's what, like, I have this issue where I can't, my whole life, it's like, I'll watch a TV show, and then I don't ever want to fucking watch that again. And I'll see a movie, and it's like I've always explained this. Like, Nichelle, she'll sit there and she'll watch a movie over and over and over and over again, and I can't stand to watch the same. Like, I have to continuously move forward, and that's what like I realize, like, that's kind of like the essence of prog, is like, yeah, it has like reprisals of different pieces. It's like a symphony of songs and vibes and everything contained in one maybe 20 fucking minute song, but it's like, it's a whole experience, and it's an exploration of vibes and emotions and atmospheres and all of this stuff. And it's like, that's why I'm saying, it's like, all of these things my whole life, it's like, why can I not watch the same thing twice? Why can I not listen to the same thing for more than a week at a time? And I like will hate it after that. And it's like, all of these little things, and I'm like, I think it makes sense in my head, but it's like, I feel like prog, it's like my whole, I always, whenever I find something new, it's that feeling like your whole life led up to that moment. Like, you were supposed to find that thing. That's like, it opens a new doors. It's literally, I feel like that's all life is just a series of corridors and doors and hallways that you're literally like, oh, I'm going to go this way, and like, holy shit, this particular thing unlocked this door for me, and I'm going to go through it, and then it's a whole different realm of life that you continue on down that corridor until something else unlocks the next door, and you're like, holy shit. And then you just start to discover and explore and discover things about yourself, and that's fucking rad as shit. But
just be glad you don't over just play constantly, or everything you watch and shit, because this shit's annoying, and you're like, oh, I don't want to ever watch that again.
I mean, I'm that way, and it only takes once to watch something, unless it's, I've probably mentioned this before, so I apologize, but yeah, because we were talking about Jordan Peele movies, it's like, it has to be something that, like, it has to make me want to watch it again, or listen to it again, or fuck with it again, or whatever, what have you, whatever it is. Like, it, you know, it's the same way with like a painting. That's all. I enjoy paintings. I enjoy visual art, but it's like, once I see it, like, I know what it looks like. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't need to view it again. I don't know. That's a weird one. I'm just exploring this right now. I just had that thought, and it's like, visual art is a whole different thing. Just because I feel like you only need to really see it once, and that's the thing. That's kind of the equivalent. It's like a Jordan Peele movie. A painting that you're willing to buy and put on your wall is just a Jordan Peele movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But no, but Magma. Jesus Christ, I'm getting off track here, but they're a Paris-based band in 1970, and they I always talk about synchronicities and shit, and it's like, I always like will have this thought, and then something will happen that just solidifies what I was saying. So, but no, I was sitting there and I was listening to this band Magma, and I'm a huge, if you know anything about me, I'm a huge fan of the Twilight Zone, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, man, this band is literally just the score of a Twilight Zone, like the musical score of the entirety of Twilight Zone, but in like an album. It's like an hour and 22 minutes of just Twilight Zone score, but with like lyrics and shit like that. So, and then I read you know how like you ever go on like Spotify or Apple and it has like the like a bio of like an artist.
Always.
They were like based on like retro sci-fi mythologies, and I was like, so yeah, they're literally. That's why they sound like a Twilight Zone score. But what's crazy about them is I can't pronounce the album that I'm listening to. I've only got to this one album, but I've listened to it multiple times. But it's called Kobaya. I get the little, just punctuated my Kobaya with a fire alarm, smoke alarm beep. Kobaya or something? It's the one that has it just says, you'll see it. Fuck it. I'll edit it in there. I'll edit it in there again. You're giving me too much work to do. And by that I mean past me is giving future me more work. But this is what's crazy is I didn't even realize this until I read the thing because I thought, I was like, oh, they're a foreign band. I can't understand any of these fucking lyrics. Then I read in their bio, the guy, the mastermind behind the band, invented his own language and style. He coined the style Zool, meaning celestial, and Kobayan. So all of his lyrics are in a language that he invented. That's why I couldn't understand a single fucking whatever was coming out of that fucking gob. Like I was just like, it's crazy. And it's basically like they described it as like Coltrane modes and stuff like that. And it's basically just like pretty much like weird like beeps and boops, but with like instruments and like it's so perfect to me. It's like, I don't know, it's crazy. I love that like offset weird wonky shit that it's like if you don't understand what you're like, if you want to understand what you're watching, you'll hate it. It's like you have to be like open-minded and be like, oh dude, it's just like Sun Ra and stuff like that. It's like the average normie will hate that shit. Like avant-garde, like free jazz. Like he'll do that shit on the guitar, and I'm like it'll give me the little fucking what do you call that? Penis jollies?
Yeah.
I don't know. I made that up. What is it? Something. Yeah, I'm gonna just go with penis jollies. That's what it gives me. It gives me that. That's cool, like a little flutter in my heart. They even created their own narrative that was basically they're singing in Kobayan about Earth, a war between Earth refugees and new Earth colonists. And it's like, so you guys got like a whole fucking thing. But it's kind of wild. Also, that's probably enough about Magma. I wanted to also show you this cool thing. So I got a new eyeball ring, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay, this was my gift from Nichelle for Christmas, one of my Christmas gifts, but it came from like the far away land of Canada. Okay, and so it took a while, but I thought I'd show you this.
Oh, that's cool shit.
You know what's crazy about it though?
What?
That's Nichelle's eye. Yeah. Is that not insane?
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. That's why I literally...
It's kind of morbid.
I was going to... Yeah, because she's not dead. I mean, it's actually... She is dead, and this is a eyeball ring made of her ashes. But, no, but I mentioned this to her earlier, and I wrote a note so I could remember to talk about it because I thought it was fucking creepy. But I love it.
Wow, that's cool shit.
But
fucking morbid.
I literally wrote Nichelle eye ring, always watching, and I don't even know what I meant by that. And I was
always watching.
Yeah. No, but now every time I look down, I'm just like, oh. No, but when I had to mention that to her because I had this whole thing I was gonna say about that, and I just wrote down so I don't forget it. But now I just thought it'd be funnier just to read what I wrote down. But then she reminded me that on the basis of aliens, on the talk of aliens and Mars attacks, there's like a lady that has an eyeball ring that like actually is how she sees, and I thought that was fucking interesting. I don't know, but yeah, she got me this creepy fucking creepy ring. You ever get any creepy gifts like that?
Nothing yet.
Oh, well, nothing yet. But, you just get an ash dildo. You know this exists?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like an urn, but it's a dildo. Who wants to put their dead loved one inside of them?
Lots of people.
Yeah, I just want it in a Nesquik can. More Ovaltine, please.
No, I want one of those 80s style Folgers cans.
Oh, just make fucking dead guy coffee. That'd be cool.
Yeah, or like Due Date with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis?
Yeah.
He's just a maid of napkins. Napkins.
Where they accidentally put his dad in the tea thing, and they were drinking his dad.
Isn't that there's a stoner movie? I forgot what movie that is. It has like Red Man and stuff in it. It's Red Method Man, I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where they smoke their dead friend and they can see him. I forgot what that is.
Dude.
But well, I have to take a fat piss.
Shame, geez.
So we're going to take a short break, and but while you wait here, I give a precursor here. Actually, I have this new bit. It's a video bit, so you won't see it. I'll explain later. But when we on the last episode, the last guest we had was Josh Carter. That used to be the guitar player of the second guitar player in the band, and we had a question about irrational pet peeves on that show, on that episode, and I literally couldn't think of a single one that whole time. Everybody else had great fucking pet peeves. Everybody that answered the question online had great fucking answers. I couldn't think of anything until immediately the show was over and I thought of 1,000 pet peeves. So, while we go to this break and while you wait, here is a short list of things that really piss me off.
Please stand by.
And we are back to the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed that list of things that really pissed me off. But, anyways, guys, okay, so I covered tour dates, upcoming shows, Nichelle's wiring, Always Watching May. We got the video bit, Mars Attacks, Magma. I think that leads us to your favorite segment of the show, I believe, which is called Phantom Sam and the Fictions. This is the segment of the show where over the course of the week or two, one, if not both of us, will come up with a short list of fictitious band names, and we will discuss all sorts of fun things about them, what genre of music they play, who they'd open for, real-life band they'd open for, the bill, whatever. I should have burped that into the microphone for dramatic effect. But I didn't, alas. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles here. So But guys, I guess we'll start with this with fictitious band name number 1, Mummy Coyote. What do you think genre of music Mummy
Funk.
Coyote would play? What?
Funk.
Funk? What makes you think that Mummy Coyote would play
I
funk?
don't know. Just something about that is just funky.
Mummy Coyote? Yeah, I feel like almost like desert funk, like goth desert funk. I don't know why Mummy Coyote makes me think.
It's all like like that desert style that you played before or whatever. There's like that jazzy desert.
Oh my God, what is that called? I haven't listened
On
to
top of like a funk, but the like vocalist just roll.
But funk?
Yeah,
So a screaming desert funk?
but it's like the music's not heavy at all.
Well, or pig squealing.
Yes.
Just how about we'll meet in the middle here? I feel like Mummy Coyote would be desert funk. The lead singer is fairly normal, but the background vocals are pig squealers.
Yeah.
You gotta have that. And yeah, all their album covers would be like animal skulls and stuff. I don't know.
It's
interesting.
Like Skull the pig, Skull the cow.
Yeah, something like that. Skulls, sand, bandages. I don't know. I'm just looking at Mummy
patches.
Coyote.
I don't know why, for some reason, it's piratey too.
Ooh, think of like a decaying coyote in bandages. Like a mummy. A literal mummy coyote. That'd be kind of interesting. I kind of want to just draw that. That'd be interesting. Well, I can't fucking draw, but if I could draw... Oh my God, can I change my answer? Oh, no, that you can't.
You said, "Can I change my
Oh,
Is
man.
it too late?
Yeah.
You took your hand off of it already.
Oh. Yeah, because I was going to say, if I could just not sleep, I would just draw twice as much and just get real good at drawing, but that's not a fucking basic bodily function that I could... Well, that's kind of a gray area. But what do you think... Imagine... What real-life band do you think that Mummy Coyote would open for? Mummy Coyote.
So if we're doing funk, I'd say, it's a really good funk, man.
Mummy Coyote. I feel like they would open they would open for the Brides of Funkenstein. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I'm pretty sure it's one of George Clinton's creations, the Brides of Funkenstein. I may be wrong about the George Clinton thing, but yeah, I think they would open for the Brides of Funkenstein. It would be kind of like a low-key reunion show, and the Mummy Coyote. I feel like Mummy Coyote's from Vegas.
Shit, we should have done the Ohio Players.
Well, I'm kind of sticking to the my whole mentality on it is like the almost like gothic vibe or the horror vibe, Mummy Coyote, and but then at the end they would both bands would mash together and they would do a funk version of Monster Mash. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd just be for Halloween. They do a Halloween reunion tour in October, and yeah. I feel like Mummy Coyote's from Vegas for some reason. I don't know. They give me a Vegas vibe. But anyways, fictitious band name number 2. 7 Hour Sleeper Cell. Dun dun.
Dude, I get like a 90s new metal vibe.
7 Hour Sleeper Cell?
Yeah.
I could see that. Huh. 7 Hour Sleeper Cell. Yeah, but I feel like there's got to be like something, like almost like who's that band? Fugazi? I feel like you almost have like for some reason I don't know, it reminds me of Fugazi.
Repeat that again?
Fugazi?
I don't even think I've heard of that.
They're like I've honestly only heard I've heard a few songs by them, but there's only one song that I can remember, and it's called The Cure by Fugazi. and that's the kind of vibe that they give me. They're kind of 90s. I mean, they're not really new metal, but they're in that same era of when that was like a popular thing, or like gaining popularity.
Have you heard of Orgy?
I've heard of orgies. Have I been in one time? But no.
It's a band. They're kind of like Nine Inch Nails, but like lean more to like not the electronic part of it.
Oh. So not industrial music.
Yeah, 90s like new metal, I guess. Like
yeah. Does anybody? Oh, never mind. Let's say there's only two. Oh my God! Holy shit! So I found this other band. I don't know if you ever heard of Mr. Bungle. You ever heard of
that
Mr.
sounds
Bungle?
familiar.
They were like a precursor to new metal. It was like whenever it was like pretty much the generation like right before System of a Down, maybe. I'm not sure. The same guy fronted this band called Tomahawk, and then he did Mr. Bungle. But it's like the wild. It's like if it's almost literally it's literally like if Primus was ska music. That's what it sounds like to me. It's literally like fast paced, like rapping ska to ska.
Okay.
But then it's just like really weird noises and stuff.
Space noises and shit.
Yeah, there's like this song.
Laser beams.
I could only get into like one of their songs though, and I was like, dude, this is not good. I thought there's so many bands out there that I want to like, but I'm just like, God, might as well not fight and just hate them.
Right.
You know, not hate them, but like, I wanted to love the Butthole Surfers so bad.
I love them.
And I fucking dove into them, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I mean,
just
not
can't
do
everything they have is like the best, but it's still good.
I feel like there's very few bands that everything they do is good. I mean, there's even my favorite bands. There's shit that they do that I'm just like, dude, this is awful. But like I'm a huge fan of the Killers. I've always loved the Killers since I was like a wee little lad. And there's songs that I'm like, dude, this is such a gay song. This is so fucking dumb. There's also songs that grew on me though. Like, what was that song by the Killers? The Man. I'm the man, I'm the man. I got money in the bank. I got gas in the tank. What sold me on that song though is I seen them live. They were headlined they headlined a stage at Beale Street Music Festival one year, and it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen because they literally they start the song by him. It was the ending song, it was the finale song, and I was like, I didn't know obviously because I wasn't in the fucking loop obviously or knew what was going on, but they were gonna end the show that I waited so long to see with my least favorite song. I didn't know that at the time, but when it started happening, I was like, I had no choice but to love this song after the fact because he just goes, ah, and then just the most confetti I've ever seen at one time in my life. Instantaneously was in the sky everywhere. And I was like, you need to fucking pay the pyrotechnics guy more money because I feel like he has alien anti-gravitational anti-gravity propulsion systems powering his fucking confetti launcher because it was literally like bing! And the whole sky was confetti. Yeah. But it was the coolest thing in the world. And then it just starts with, I got money in the bank. And I was just like, okay, I love this song now. But 7 Hour Sleeper Cell. They're fucking new metal. We got to add a slight a slight punk vibe. Let's give it let's throw the Fugazi flair on there with the, because I don't know why that makes me think of Fugazi. Maybe because a sleeper cell is kind of a Fugazi, which is like a fugaze. I don't even know the definition of Fugazi.
Sleeper cell. I think of Power Man 5000.
Why does that make you think of Power Man 5000?
I think they have an album with Cell in it.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
well, then I could just go with what is that one? The one that does Tainted Love.
That's Marilyn Manson.
No, that's not Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I mean he does a cover of it.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Tainted Love. Oh my God, what's the fucking? It has the word "cell" in the band. They weren't even the original ones. They were the ones that made it popular. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not pretty sure. I'm absolutely sure that "Tainted Love" was a song from the 50s or 60s by a gorgeous, gorgeous dark-skinned lady, and it's the best version that there ever is. So how about that? That just be the bill. 7-hour sleeper cell, and they have Fugazi in the middle, and then who headlines? Who headlines that? What do you think? System of a Down?
Yeah, that'll work.
Because System of a Down is the dopest. That's like the most out of character. I don't even think that's like out of character for me, but to be honest.
Everybody loves System of a Down.
Yeah, well, because I just feel like they're just so unique. And like,
You can't deny it.
yeah. What's, did you ever have like did you ever have did you ever have a phase in high school that was very short-lived? Like you had like you look back at it now and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like I wore that, or I listened to that, or I did that thing.
No, not really. I mean, I went through like yeah, I don't know. Everything's really hasn't changed that way.
Because I remember in high school, my like freshman year, I was like, I'm
I
gonna.
became more open-minded with music since high school because I used to be so closed in a box.
Yeah. So did that spawn any like side effects? As in, like, did you like wear certain types of clothes, or did you cut your hair a certain way?
I
or,
always
like,
wore black and
dude.
long hair.
That's what I was gonna say. Is because like I fucking in my freshman year, I think it wasn't. I think it was just my freshman year of high school. I was like, I'm gonna be seen, and like I had like the like, I don't even know how you would call it, like the choppy hair, and like it like puffed up in the back like a fucking like punk ass, like a scenester. Like the only thing I didn't do was dye like the like blue streak over my eye or anything. I didn't do that shit, but I definitely was in that vibe. And I had this fucking Hot Topic jacket that was just the band Him. You've heard of
I've
him.
heard of him.
And it was just the heartogram all over it. And then I thought that was so cool for some reason. And then I will say the most short-lived thing was the fedora. I tried the fedora for like a week, and I literally was like, I feel like such a trash human. Like I was like, I feel like such a fucking dumbass. And so I've never been a fan of the fedora, but I thought that was funny. The only reason I say this is because System of a Down, I used to have a System of a Down shirt that I wore like twice a week because I was like, this is my favorite band, System of a Down. And then I had a Flogging Molly shirt and a Devil Wears Prada shirt that had Reptar from the Rugrats on it, which was fucking dope shirt. I would probably still wear that. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. I used to be such a fucking punk ass. But fictitious band name number 3, Meat Cookie.
That's funny.
What genre of music do you think Meat Cookie would play?
Playing the meats, just slapping me.
Meat Cookie.
Honestly, I get like an EDM.
Really? I think that they would be fronted by a Muppet. That's why. Meat Cookie. I don't know.
Finger wagging.
I feel like Dr. Teeth would be behind the mixing board when they're recording their first album. You know who Dr. Teeth is?
I think so. I think
He's
you
the-
talked about.
Dr. Teeth is he's the Muppet from the Muppets.
Oh, yeah.
Like the front of the band. Yeah. It's yeah, like the animal was the drummer. Yeah, and Dr. Teeth was the fucking front guy, I'm pretty sure. He was definitely like the leader of the band. I don't know if he actually fronted it, because you always have that, like, every so often you have like the mastermind is like the bass player, like the most least expected one to be the mastermind, like the keyboard player. He's the fucking, you got the Lapee Doley or whatever the fuck his name is, how you pronounce that guy. But anyways, or I guess it would make more sense to say the Booker T and the MGs. He's the fucking mastermind on the organ. But it means nothing to me. But I feel like Meat Cookie, for some reason I feel like it's some sort of like if Guar was Muppets. Meat Cookie. And they would, yeah. And I think that the lead singer would sound like this. We are Meat Cookie. But and their first album would be called Chocolate Chip Hamburger. Yeah. Or Macadamia Venison.
That's funny.
Yeah. Or White Chocolate Caboose. I don't know what that means. That's not a meat, but
Caboose.
Yeah, I'm just saying cookies with meats. So, but I don't know, like blueberry buffalo or something like that. That's a cool meat. Or that's what I do when I can't think of anything else, and I just try to make it comedic that I can't think of anything else. But what do you think if they were a Muppet band? What kind of music do you think? I'm just thinking Meat Cookie. They would be like, I don't know, Muppet show tunes, but like, but heavy show tunes. I don't know. But yeah, Meat Cookie.
Miniature instruments.
Well, I mean they're Muppets, so they'd
Yeah.
have to be. But
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like they would just be. I feel like they wouldn't actually be a band themselves. I feel like they would be the backing band, like they would be a studio band, kind of like like Questlove, or how do you say that? Meat Cookie. So it'd be like Paul Schaefer and the Meat Cookies. It's just like a Muppet band. I don't know. Kind of like Booker T and the MGs. They were like the studio band of. Yeah, I feel like Dr. Teeth, he became like a George Clinton, and he was like, I'm going to just spawn a bunch of other bands. And so Dr. Teeth is like, fucking, I got these nice young cool cats I discovered in a fucking smoky ass fucking speakeasy in downtown Appalachia. And this is Meat Cookie. And yeah, they're just a bunch of just ne'er-do-wells that they're just looking to get their feet wet. I don't know what that means, but wet with meat. Trying to get their feet wet with meat.
They're diving, putting their toes in the meat.
Yeah, because when you're a cook, you got to smack the meat. They're putting their toes in it. Yeah. You ever watch The Proud Family?
No.
You know what that show is? It was back in a Disney Channel show. It was about a black family. It was a cartoon. Well, they have Sugar Mama, which was the grandmother. And she used to make Sugar Mama's Get Up and Go bars, and they were they were like almost like a lemon bar or something, and they were like the greatest thing in the world, right? Everybody, the whole neighborhood loved them, and they were like selling them, and they were just selling out, blah blah blah. She was fucking rich. And then they were like, what's your secret? And she was like, always would joke around. Well, they thought was a joke. She's like, I put my foot in it, meaning like you almost like you know how like I don't know if you and I don't know from experience because I've never manufactured illicit substances, but I've always heard in like drug documentaries that whenever you add a certain ingredient to methamphetamine, they call it giving it its legs. It's kind of like the concept.
Or stepped on.
Yeah, well, no, stepped on is not that. That's a different thing.
Wow.
Isn't stepped on derogatory? or not derogatory, but isn't that a bad thing that it stepped on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, giving it its legs is like giving it giving it its full effect, right? And so it's kind of the same concept of that. She'd be like, I put my foot in it, and they're like, oh, that's clever, that's a funny like tagline. And then they watched her actually make the get up and go bars, and she literally like makes the batter and then takes her shoes and socks off and literally puts her foot in it, and everyone's like nobody bought them anymore. They were just all puking everywhere. It's just hilarious. But that's what that reminded me of. But
Get up and go bar.
yeah, man.
Put my foot in it.
Yeah, totally. Putting your fucking foot in it, and that's Meat Cookie. Yeah, man. So guys, yeah, we're on tour in March. We got a show at the end of the month on January 31st. We got a couple shows next month. We're kind of taking it easy before we hit it hard in the fucking paint. And so today, I don't know why I said today because. Yeah, I don't know why I said today, but this is probably a good point to cut it off here. My hourglass is I got 60 minutes of sand is gone, and
what did you say? I got 30.
I got about 30 sand left. Actually, I don't. There's probably a little bit of change left, but yeah, but I got to tap it to get it out. So yeah. There's just I only probably got like 3 sand left maybe, but I don't know. But anyways, guys, we are going to live with cause and leave results to the great law of the universe and pass each and every day in peaceful contemplation, patient, and all the while remaining present in our lives. So after this episode, please go outside and pet your wife and kiss your dog and kiss a tree and touch your touch some grass, lay in the yard, stick your feet and little toes in the mud so they squeeze up through your little toes.
Your meat.
And so because whenever it's the best feeling in the world when you stick your bare feet in mud and it comes squeezing up through your little toe holes. It's fucking beautiful. So do that. That sounds fucking fun, guys. But keep a lookout for us. Please tune in the future. Space Camp.
Stay funky, y'all.
Guys, this has been, without further ado, we brought to you
Art of the Jam.
Art of that Jam, everybody. And let me play you off here. So... Meat cookie.
Meat cookie. Meat cookie. Meat cookie. Meat cookie. Meat cookie. Meat cookie.
I discovered a new
meat
band
cookie.
called Magma.
Meat.
We're not on the meat cookie thing anymore. Shut the fuck up. I like to sing a summary of the show. Yeah, real monotone. We had meat cookie and 7-hour sleep or so. And we had that other band, Mommy Coyote. What else did we talk about on the show? I don't know. 'Cause I can't see my sheet that I wrote 5 minutes before we started rolling. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got it. What's a bodily function that you could live without, but you have to do the other one twice as much? Enough of this shit. Without further ado, we have brought to you Art of the Jam. Art of the Jam, everybody. Goodbye.